Did you know that more people now get their news online than from any other source? MaineWebNews.com covers the current events forming the trends of tomorrow. Experience the future of Maine news today at MaineWebNews.com.
Today on Maine Web News, Kevin Scott tells us that not all the candidates for Maine governor are getting equal coverage in Maine's biggest newspaper, and he thinks he knows why. Danielle Beeman covers a different kind of governor's race on We Create the Future. Is life expectancy going down? We'll tackle that question. And how does your salary stack up against the salary of the average state worker here in Maine? You might be surprised.
And now, Maine Web News.
Independent candidate for Maine Governor Kevin Scott met with Maine Web News, and he asked for an equal opportunity to have his voice be heard. He expressed a concern that one of the other independent candidates seems to be getting more than his fair share of the press from Maine's largest newspaper chain.
Here, as an independent candidate in the state of Maine, we have media outlets that report on of course, the national parties without question, and they're favoring one independent. And that one independent has particular relations with the media outlet that's doing the most work to advertise his message.
The other candidate that Kevin Scott is referring to is Eliot Cutler. His campaign treasurer, Robert Monks, also sits on the board of directors at MaineToday Media, which publishes the Portland Press-Herald, the Kennebec Journal, and the Waterville Morning Sentinel. This MaineToday Media headline reports that Cutler is a factor in the governor's race. But why do they say that? Is he getting more favorable coverage because of his ties to MaineToday Media? Independent candidate Kevin Scott has no special ties to the media, and he doesn't ask for any special treatment.
Whether or not you believe that my candidacy is the one you want to ultimately support, let's make sure that the playing field is leveled and that all of us candidates receive adequate, if not fair and balanced, news coverage opportunities.
Some kids in central Maine got a chance to race go-karts against someone that they hope will be the next governor. Danielle Beeman tells us more on We Create the Future.
The Benton Family Fun Park is the site of many great birthday parties and other events. But Monday evening, they dedicated their proceeds to the gubernatorial candidate Paul LePage. Paul shared his racing strategy with Maine Web News.
My strategy on the racetrack is I don't intend to beat any little kids. But if the grown-ups want to race...
And then it was off to the races. Although many of the kids told us they hoped LePage would win the governor's race, they showed him no mercy on the Benton racetrack. We asked the kids what kind of changes they would make if they could be governor for a day.
I'd make it so kids could go skydiving. If I were governor for a day, I'd make it so that way there's 3 10-hour school days.
And the kids we'll be racing with today, I'd like to see them being able to make a good, decent, prosperous living in the state of Maine, be educated in Maine, and stay in Maine. It's nice to go visit other places, but I'd like them to come home and stay right here and be prosperous here in our state, rather than what they've done for the last 4 decades, having to leave the state, go away to earn a living, and then they come back when they retire, and even then they only come back 6 months less a day, so the state can't take all their nest egg away.
Paul and the kids had a lot of great ideas. This is Danielle Beeman with We Create the Future on Maine Web News.
A woman in my hometown of Madison, Mary Foss, turned 106 years old this week. I'd like to live to be 100 years old, but what are the odds? Conventional wisdom says that life expectancy is going up, but that may not be the case. Childbirth used to be a major cause of death for young women and their babies. This made life expectancy much lower 100 years ago. Go to any old New England cemetery, and you're likely to see that in the 18th century, about half the grave markers were for babies, young children, and women who died during childbirth. Many markers from 100 years ago will also have only one date listed. Now, medical advancements make it rare that babies and mothers die during childbirth. So if you factor in the lower infant mortality rate, it does elevate today's life expectancy. But if you take the lower infant mortality rate out of the equation, it may change the story. In some parts of the world, life expectancy is clearly in decline. Russian men now live to an average of only 60 years old. A study shows that life expectancy is in decline in parts of rural America as well. Poor nutrition and depleted soil are considered to be possible factors. Breaking the habit of smoking is one of the best ways to increase your life expectancy. The average salary of White House employees has been disclosed as $82,000. That's a sweet paycheck. Maine state employees couldn't possibly make that much, could they? How much does the average state employee in Maine make? Representative Doug Thomas of Ripley answers that question.
And every time that we hear something from Augusta Ridge, it's full of weasel words. It's full of words like, we've eliminated positions. But what they don't tell you is all of the positions that they created. They'll eliminate one position and create two. And so how do you ever reduce the budget? And here in my hand, we've got a new study that says that the average employee for the state of Maine makes $72,135. That's average. Now that's counting their benefits, but the average Maine worker, and in my district, it's less than $30,000.
Right.
So how can we continue to take money from people who work hard and spend it in the ways that we've spent it and expect a booming economy? We can't.
Last week, 94% of those responding to a Maine Web News poll said that Oakhurst Dairy should continue to display their farmers' pledge to not use growth hormones. We want to know what you think again this week, so please go to www.mainewebnews.com and participate in this week's poll. This week's question is, who is the best source for accurate political commentary? Chris Matthews, Glenn Beck, Alex Jones, Al Diamond, or Bozo the Clown? Before leaving the website, consider making www.mainewebnews.com your homepage. You'll be able to use our Start Page search engine, which does not record your IP address or track your searches like other search engines. We also aggregate state, national, and world news, adding articles several times a day. Thanks for watching, and today we leave you with the music of Maine singer-songwriter Jordan Callback.
Let's look at the moon rise. I like to play a tune, and I'll play a tune well for you. And as I look at how the stars shine, they make me feel so good, and I hope they make you feel good too. And I won't stop playing, oh, I won't stop playing on my guitar. I'll listen to the words that I'm saying, 'cause they're coming from the bottom of my heart, from my guitar. Drops won't know, it won't bring me down. I said the rain won't bring me down.